You're driving through Fort Bend County on a weekend, exploring new communities like Austin Point or Brookewater, and you decide to stop and check out some new homes. You walk into the sales center. The atmosphere is very welcoming. A friendly sales representative greets you at the door, offers you a bottle of water, and points you toward the model homes. Before you go in to check out the floor plans, they hand you an iPad or a clipboard and casually ask you to fill out a quick guest card. The moment you finish putting pen to paper, you've actually made a major binding legal decision without even realizing it. If you complete that registration without officially listing a real estate agent, you give up your right to independent representation for that entire community. A low-key weekend outing accidentally turns into a binding forfeiture of your own advocacy. Fort Bend builders have strict internal policies about real estate commissions, especially when it comes to your very first visit. They rely on a rule called procuring cause. In their system, whoever brings you through the door first gets to claim you for the entire duration of the build. This flowchart shows exactly how the trap works. You walk in, sign the guest card, and your chance to have an agent ends right there. Alternatively, if your agent calls ahead before that first visit, you walk in a dedicated advocate. Builder sales reps enforce this first visit policy strictly. By blocking an outside agent from the transaction, the builder saves thousands of dollars in commission payouts. A lot of buyers assume that if the builder saves on that commission, the base price of the home will go down. It doesn't. The price of the house stays exactly the same. The financial savings go straight to the builder's bottom line, and you're left to negotiate a complicated real estate transaction completely on your own. Navigating this first step is now governed by updated regulations from the Texas Real Estate Commission, which went into effect in 2026. Texas law now requires you to sign a written representation agreement before an agent can legally show you any residential property. This changes the timeline for how you shop around. You have to establish your representation before you head out for those weekend community tours. The required agreement clearly spells out exactly what duties your agent owes you, as well as how they get paid, so there's no confusion. Taking 5 minutes to handle this paperwork up front guarantees your legal clarity and protection throughout the construction process that can often take up to a year. The 2026 rule requires you to actively choose your advocate early on, so you don't just passively end up in the builder system by default. We need to look at the exact responsibilities of the two professionals you'll be dealing with: the builder sales representative and an independent buyer's agent. As this chart shows, the builder's rep is an employee whose loyalty is strictly to the builder's bottom line, pushing old lot inventory and making sure construction timelines are protected. Your independent agent evaluates the land for its resale value and negotiates strict contingencies to protect your deposit. Then you reach the design center phase, where the sales rep's job is to sell you upgrades at the highest possible retail margins. An independent agent steps in to tell you exactly which of those cosmetic upgrades will actually give you a return on investment when you resell, and which ones you should pass on. The builder's representative will answer your questions and help move the sale along, but their legal duty is to protect the builder, not you. Getting real protection means hiring a local new construction specialist instead of a generalist agent. I live right here in Fort Bend County, inside the Bonbrook Plantation community. That first-hand experience gives me hyper-local insights. I know how specific farm zones affect your property taxes, how the HOA structures work, and the exact zoning transition paths within Lamar CISD. Your biggest vulnerability actually comes after the contract is signed, during the physical construction phase. Through Yong Home Services, we provide an objective third-party oversight system while your house is being built. From the air and on the ground, we actively monitor the physical progress of the structure itself, protecting your investment from above. We use independent photo and video tracking to document the job site, catching framing errors or plumbing issues, while the walls are still open, before the builder puts up the drywall and hides them. A true advocate negotiates the terms of the paper contract and then physically monitors the wood and concrete to hold the builder accountable. Some buyers try to go unrepresented because they think it makes the buying process simpler. Without legal guidance, you take on the huge burden of reading, interpreting, and fighting a 50-page contract that's heavily stacked in the builder's favor. You also run the risk of missing critical construction milestones and walkthroughs simply because you can't be on the job site every single day. This vulnerability only increases if you're an out-of-state relocator trying to manage a complicated Fort Bend build from hundreds of miles away. Having someone on the ground as your proxy takes away that hassle and handles the day-to-day oversight for you. Trying to do a new build yourself means taking on all the risk and stress, even though you're paying the exact same base price for the home. You need a specific sequence of steps in place before you leave your house for a weekend tour. This checklist shows you exactly what to do. Step 1. Don't find any registration forms at the model home. Step 2. Sign your TREC representation agreement to legally establish your advocacy. Step 3. Have me officially register you with the builder before you visit. Following this simple checklist to the letter will protect you from falling into the model home trap. Whether you're checking out Austin Point, Brookewater, or the George, make sure you secure your representation before you even set foot on the property. Call me at 7138-55556 7138-55556. The smartest investment you'll make in a new construction home is the phone call you make before you ever step inside.